Australian tourism brochures rarely discuss an uncomfortable reality. Some cities in the country do have crime rates that are measurably concerning. This does not mean they are dangerous in the same way as places like Sao Paulo, Johannesburg, or Detroit. The comparison is not even close. When people refer to dangerous in an Australian context, it still generally means relatively safe by global standards. However, certain locations require a bit more caution, locking your car doors, carefully selecting which suburbs to live in, and avoiding particular areas after dark. Internationally, Australia is often viewed as a relaxed and safe paradise where nothing particularly bad ever happens. In many ways, that reputation is deserved. Compared to most countries, Australia does maintain low crime rates and functional cities. People are rarely carjacked at traffic lights or mugged on street corners. Yet, acknowledging that reality does not mean every location across the country is equally secure. Crime does exist, and some areas struggle with genuine problems. In several cities, property crime occurs frequently. Car break-ins happen so often in certain areas that locals sometimes stop reporting them because police resources are limited. In other places, particular suburbs become noticeably unsafe after dark, catching tourists off guard. Assault statistics in some communities are also measurably higher than the national average, suggesting real and persistent issues rather than random statistical fluctuations. To understand the situation properly, extensive research into verified data is essential. Instead of relying on opinions or anecdotes alone, the analysis draws from sources such as the Australian Bureau of Statistics and crime records broken down by local government areas. Additional information comes from state police statistics, including those from Queensland Police, New South Wales Police, and Northern Territory Police. Crime rates are calculated per 100,000 residents, so population size does not distort the comparison between cities. The data includes assault rates, robbery incidents, property crimes such as burglary and theft, drug-related offenses, sexual assault statistics, and vehicle theft figures. Beyond official statistics, real experiences from residents also reveal important insights. Roughly 15,000 discussions from Reddit threads dedicated to specific cities, along with posts from local Facebook groups, provide first-hand accounts of safety concerns. These conversations often reveal which suburbs locals avoid, the types of crimes residents personally encounter, and how people adapt to living in these environments. These experiences add context to the raw numbers. After examining the data carefully and accounting for population differences, 10 cities emerge with the highest overall crime rates in Australia. Some of them may come as a surprise, while others confirm what attentive observers might already suspect. Before exploring the list, however, one important point must be made clear. Even the most crime-affected Australian cities remain significantly safer than average cities in the United States, Latin America, South Africa, or many regions of Europe. Australia's overall baseline of safety is genuinely high in global comparison. Nevertheless, acknowledging that broader safety does not mean ignoring areas where serious problems exist. Number 10. Cairns, Queensland. Cairns, a tropical tourist destination in far north Queensland, has a population of approximately 153,000 people. Known as a gateway to the Great Barrier Reef and the Daintree Rainforest, it attracts travelers seeking palm-lined beaches, relaxed coastal lifestyles, backpacker adventures, and retirees escaping colder southern winters. Tourism marketing portrays the city as a laid-back paradise filled with resort wear and ocean views. However, crime statistics reveal a different side of the story. The city records roughly 7,800 offenses per 100,000 residents annually, about 30% higher than the Queensland average. Property crime in particular stands out. Car break-ins occur so frequently that many locals consider them almost inevitable. Theft from parked vehicles happens regularly, and home burglaries in certain suburbs are not uncommon. Tourism itself creates opportunities for criminals. Rental cars are often parked at rainforest trailheads with luggage visible inside. Backpackers staying in budget accommodation sometimes leave valuables unattended in shared rooms. Because visitors do not know which neighborhoods to avoid, tourist-heavy areas become easy targets for theft. Drug-related problems also appear in some parts of the city. At night, sections of the Esplanade can feel uncomfortable due to aggressive begging or individuals affected by drugs. Methamphetamine use in certain suburbs contributes to property crime as well. Despite these concerns, many visitors never encounter problems during their stay. Tourist areas remain relatively safe during the daytime. Reef tours operate smoothly, and resort districts maintain strong security. Locals simply follow precautions that visitors may not realize are necessary. They never leave valuables visible in cars, not even sunglasses or phone chargers, and they remain cautious about walking alone in unfamiliar areas after dark. The pattern of property crime is real and well documented, particularly at popular parking locations used by tourists. Number 9. Darwin, Northern Territory. Darwin, the capital of the Northern Territory, has a population of roughly 147,000 people. The city serves as a tropical hub with a large transient population connected to mining operations, FIFO workers, and defense personnel. Crime statistics indicate approximately 8,200 offenses per 100,000 residents annually. The most striking aspect of Darwin's crime profile is its violent crime rate. The city records the highest assault rate of any Australian capital. In fact, violent crime occurs at roughly double the national average. Several factors contribute to this situation. A deeply rooted drinking culture is common in the territory lifestyle, and the presence of a transient workforce can reduce community stability. Long-standing social challenges within indigenous communities surrounding the city also play a role. Additionally, extreme heat and humidity, factors sometimes associated with increased aggression in criminological research, may influence behavior. Violent incidents tend to cluster in specific places and times. The Mitchell Street Entertainment District on weekend nights is notorious for brawls, glassings, and occasional stabbings. Being intoxicated in that area after midnight on a Friday or Saturday can carry genuine risks. Property crime also remains above national averages. House break-ins and vehicle theft are not rare in certain suburbs. Nevertheless, the overall picture is more nuanced than raw statistics might suggest. During daytime hours, most neighborhoods remain calm and safe. Families go about their routines, children attend school, and daily life continues normally. Crime is heavily concentrated in nightlife areas and during late-night drinking periods. Residents who choose their neighborhoods carefully and take basic security measures generally find Darwin livable and enjoyable. The city offers unique culture, beautiful coastal scenery, and a distinctive lifestyle. Awareness and sensible precautions make a significant difference. Number 8. Townsville, Queensland. Townsville, with a population of around 180,000 people, sits in North Queensland and hosts a major Australian Defence Force presence. The city records approximately 8,500 offences per 100,000 residents annually. Throughout Queensland, Townsville has developed a reputation for high property crime, and the statistics confirm it. Vehicle theft is particularly common, often involving teenagers stealing cars. Break-ins to homes and businesses occur regularly, and theft from parked vehicles happens frequently. Socioeconomic challenges in certain suburbs contribute to these patterns. Unemployment rates exceed the national average in some areas, and concentrations of social housing create environments where crime becomes more likely. Youth disengagement is another visible issue. Teenagers with limited opportunities or activities sometimes turn to antisocial behavior. Locals are usually aware of which neighborhoods present higher risks, and real estate agents quietly steer potential buyers away from certain suburbs. Yet Townsville is not defined solely by these challenges. The city also offers beautiful beaches, strong infrastructure, and educational opportunities through James Cook University. The large defense presence provides economic stability and employment. Crime tends to cluster in specific suburbs and demographics, meaning many areas remain safe and comfortable places to live. Number 7. Rockhampton, Queensland. Rockhampton, located in central Queensland and often called the beef capital of Australia, has a population of roughly 80,000 residents. The city records about 8,800 offenses per 100,000 people annually, which sits well above the state average. Assault rates are noticeably high for a city of its size, often linked to alcohol-related violence. Domestic violence statistics also exceed the state average and raise significant concerns. Regional drinking culture contributes to these patterns. Property crime remains another persistent issue. Car break-ins, house burglaries, and theft occur often enough that residents take security seriously. Social challenges in some suburbs, such as youth crime, drug problems, and visible methamphetamine use, add further pressure. Still, Rockhampton functions as a typical regional hub with shopping centers, infrastructure, and stable communities. Many families live there safely and happily. The key difference lies in location and timing. Avoiding problematic areas and being cautious around nightlife districts on weekend nights helps reduce risks significantly. Number 6. Mackay, Queensland. Mackay, a coastal city in North Queensland with about 80,000 residents, serves as a major sugar production center and mining service hub. Despite its relatively modest size, the city records around 9,100 offenses per 100,000 residents annually, higher than some cities twice its population. Property crime dominates the statistics, including vehicle theft, home break-ins, and theft from parked vehicles. Drug issues, particularly methamphetamine use, also contribute to crime rates. Alcohol and drug-related violence pushes assault figures above national averages. Economic volatility linked to the mining industry plays a role as well. During boom periods, high wages flow into the region, but bust cycles can leave workers unemployed. This fluctuation, combined with a transient workforce, sometimes destabilizes local communities. Yet Mackay still offers attractive features such as beaches, schools, and functional infrastructure. Many families live comfortably there. Like several other cities on this list, crime tends to concentrate around substance abuse and specific neighborhoods rather than affecting the entire city equally. Number 5. Mount Isa, Queensland. Mount Isa, located in remote northwest Queensland, is a mining city known for copper and lead production. With a population of approximately 18,000, it records about 9,500 offenses per 100,000 residents annually. Assault rates here are significantly higher than national averages. Violence occurs regularly in certain parts of town, often linked to heavy drinking, isolation, and the intense conditions of mining culture. Extreme temperatures and limited economic opportunities outside mining can also contribute to social tensions. Property crime exists as well, with break-ins and vehicle theft occurring more frequently than expected for a town of its size. However, Mount Isa's small population means crime appears more visible. In larger cities, similar incidents might be spread across wider areas and attract less attention. Despite its challenges, Mount Isa remains a functioning community. Mining wages can be lucrative, and strong social bonds exist among residents. Its remoteness amplifies both its strengths and its problems. Number 4. Alice Springs, Northern Territory. Alice Springs, with around 25,000 residents, sits in the geographic center of Australia and acts as a gateway to Uluru and other iconic outback landscapes. Unfortunately, it also records an extremely high crime rate, approximately 13,500 offenses per 100,000 residents each year. Assault rates reach levels 4 to 5 times higher than those in typical Australian cities. Public drunkenness is widespread, and antisocial behavior is highly visible. Street crime occurs often enough to shock visitors expecting a peaceful tourist town. Property crime is also severe. Break-ins happen so frequently that many residents feel reporting them to police is pointless. Vehicle theft and petty theft occur regularly. The underlying causes are complex and deeply rooted. Severe indigenous disadvantage, generational trauma, alcohol abuse, geographic isolation, and decades of policy failures all contribute. Businesses struggle with repeated break-ins, and some residents feel the town is facing a serious crisis. At the same time, Alice Springs remains culturally and historically significant, surrounded by breathtaking desert landscapes such as the McDonnell Ranges. Many committed residents, both indigenous and non-indigenous, continue working to improve conditions despite the difficulties. Number 3. Katherine, Northern Territory. Katherine is a regional service town located between Darwin and Alice Springs with a population of about 10,000. Its crime rate sits around 14,200 offenses per 100,000 residents annually, placing it among the highest in the country. Assault rates are extremely high, reflecting many of the same underlying factors present in Alice Springs. Severe social disadvantage, alcohol abuse, isolation, and limited services contribute to persistent problems. Domestic violence statistics are particularly alarming. Property crime, including break-ins and vehicle theft, occurs frequently. Despite its small size, the town experiences crime patterns similar to much larger cities dealing with entrenched social challenges. Nevertheless, Catherine plays an important regional role for surrounding cattle stations and communities. Nearby Catherine Gorge, one of the Northern Territory's most stunning natural attractions, draws tourists from around the world. Number 2. Tenant Creek, Northern Territory. Tenant Creek, a remote outback town of approximately 3,000 people along the Stewart Highway, records roughly 15,800 offenses per 100,000 residents annually. The town holds the highest assault rate in Australia by a substantial margin. Violence statistics here are startling, especially considering the small population. Alcohol abuse, extreme isolation, limited economic opportunities, and generational trauma combine to create severe social challenges. Public disorder offenses and violent incidents occur frequently. Property crime also remains high relative to the population, including break-ins and theft. Tenant Creek faces profound difficulties that have resisted policy interventions for decades. Yet families still live there, working to build normal lives despite the obstacles. Number 1. A surprising rather than identifying a single, most dangerous city, a deeper examination reveals something unexpected. Large metropolitan areas such as Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane contain individual suburbs where crime rates rival or exceed those of smaller towns listed above. However, because these suburbs are part of massive urban populations, their statistics become diluted in citywide averages. For example, certain suburbs in Western Sydney report assault rates comparable to Darwin's. Some neighborhoods in Melbourne's north and west record property crime levels similar to those in Mackay. Parts of Brisbane experience violence comparable to the worst areas of Townsville. This highlights a crucial pattern. Crime in Australia is usually localized to specific neighborhoods and times rather than entire cities. Entertainment districts illustrate this clearly. Areas like King's Cross in Sydney at 3 a.m. on a Saturday, Northbridge in Perth late on weekend nights, or Fortitude Valley in Brisbane during early weekend mornings can temporarily produce violence rates comparable to any location in the country. Yet the same places during weekday afternoons feel completely normal and safe. Ultimately, the most dangerous locations in Australia are rarely entire cities. Instead, they are specific streets, suburbs, or nightlife districts during particular hours. The key takeaway is straightforward. Australia remains a remarkably safe country by global standards. Murder rates are extremely low, and random violence is rare. However, crime does exist and can be significant in certain areas. Being aware of surroundings, choosing neighborhoods carefully, locking vehicles and homes, avoiding intoxicated crowds late at night, and not displaying valuables unnecessarily greatly reduces risk. For most residents and visitors, these simple precautions are enough to ensure safety. Crime in Australia is real, but it is also predictable, localized, and largely avoidable with basic awareness.